do. Oh no, I forgot to do the whole science thing, and I forgot to buy new parts. Wow, I'm really not on point right now, to be honest. Hungover as fuck, as they call it. And looks like we did recover the whole ship. So that's good. Well, let's get our new parts. Mystery goo will be handy. It's good news for our scientists too. He can start gathering more science. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go for stability for the radial decouplers and the winglets, because well, we have solid boosters, separatons we don't really need, and we've got the other fuel engine which has 15 more thrust than this, which is well same category, which is pretty cool. So I'll go with stability, survivability after it, because hey, they're Kerbals, they're expendable. No, I'm gonna try not to kill anyone. This thing. This little engine is useful in space mostly, so we don't really need it. This will be handy, and this will be handy too, but stability will be our main concern. So let's grab a new contract. 22,000 meters. Okay, that's some quick money. And I'm regretting this one immensely right now. Well, if we're gonna reach 22,000 meters, yeah, well, maybe we can reach this one then. To upgrade, we'll need a lot of cash. Yeah. That's not gonna happen anytime soon, and it's gonna make things very, very hard, I think. So, how am I gonna do this? I still have one part I can do, which I think I'll just make the mystery goo, so we can gather up some science. I hate it. I hate the fact that it's not symmetrical. It's gonna cause some problems, I think. And let's do this one properly too. As low as possible, as wide as possible. Oh, and I forgot symmetry. There we go. And let's hope that works better. The problem is that, well, it's not attached to this one. It's attached to this one with this and this point, I think. Which means that when we touch down, it does a sort of a split and falls over. So now we're a bit unstable in these two directions, but well, it's a wide rocket, so it should hold. As long as we don't lose the goo. Actually, saying that, I think I might put the goo here, though I'm one part over then. I'm just gonna... This is a tough one. I think I'm just gonna leave this for now. Forget about that contract. Do the goo, get separators to put between those. Then we can reach high altitude with high speed, because we can dump those two things. And yeah, that should do the trick. Fireball 2, the not yet multi-stage, but multi-engine one. It's really annoying to oh, actually, now I think about it, it might be better to make it a single rocket with a separaton in between later on. But I've built this now, so I'm gonna use it like this. Up, up and away. I came in like a fireball. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna keep a steady 100 meters per second, I think, to save on fuel a bit. So throttle up now, and when we reach 100 meters, throttle down, and be a bit fuel efficient. Looking at the speed indicator, you can see how fast the air thinns at this level and how fast we gain speed while throttling down still, which is a great thing, of course. I'm gonna do the science experiments as high up as I can, just because low altitude science I'll always be able to do that. And thinking about it, I said that I would do the ground sampling later. Well, I have to, because ground sampling is not something I can do yet at this level of Kerbal. It's a thing that happens later on. Alright, let's see, 22,000 meters. I'm not gonna throttle down anymore. I'm just gonna go, well, open up pretty heftily. I'm gonna double my throttle once these engines run out, so I can keep my speed up. And it's gonna be a close one, I think, though my speed is increasing quite rapidly. I'm just gonna use up all the fuel on this one, see what this machine is capable of, because I really am not capable of guessing, it seems, because I never use these parts in my normal Kerbal missions. Since last career made it a lot easier to go fast to the top of the tech tree, and most of my times I spend in Sandbox, where the engines I use are the big fat Rocco Max, so maybe even the NASA engine, I forgot the name, with the 3500, which is massively OP, of course, but yeah. Well, I'm in the zone for speed right now, in the zone for height right now, and speed shouldn't be a problem if I throttle up a bit earlier. So yeah, the separator one is a real possibility, if I find a place to put it, that is. We reached our set altitude, I mean. So let's see how far up it can go before it stalls. Yeah, near 40,000, and I remember seeing a contract asking for 45,000 meters, I think. So with some minimal adjustments, that should be very possible. The goo seems to be getting very cold now. I might install the mod that replaces the science messages with a whole bunch of science messages made by, well, normal people, so to say, normal players, just to make it more interesting. And I was thinking of installing the Kerbal alarm clock I saw Scott Manley using, since I'm gonna take a realistic approach for this one too. Not in the 1 week between rockets, at least not at this time, not yet at this time, maybe later. But in the approach that I'll just launch a rocket, let it fly to where it's going, and not look at it again until it arrives where it must be, unless of course there's something I must do in between. But I won't be accelerating time for a whole year just to get a mission done in one sitting. That's not gonna be the case. Let's see, I can speed this one up. Important thing, if you're new to Kerbal Space Program, you might not know this, but if you deploy parachutes, it's best to stop speeding up the time warp at 500 meters, I think it is, for normal parachutes, if you don't change them. Because if they deploy and your ship is very heavy and very fast, time warp might alter the physics in such a way that it will just rip your space plane or rocket apart. Same with touching down, its time warp is very, well, how do you say it? It puts a lot of pressure on the parts that normally isn't there. And our landing legs worked this time, we didn't fall over, which is obviously great. Let's do another EVA, see if we can get some more signs. Nope, that's not gonna happen. Okay, let's recover our vessel and see what we got. A good 14 signs, nice. That's for the first flight for the first flight for the mystery goo. Wow, my head's not doing, not cooperating with my mouth. Clearly, we got a good amount of funds out of this too, and no XP gain for Jeb. I'm not sure what the limit is for XP gain actually, because last time we got 1 XP, this time we got nothing, and I don't know what it's what it depends on, so I'll have to look that up later on. So right now we can buy our decouplers, which are sorely needed, and our winglets, which means we can start using boosters, since we won't spin everywhere if we have winglets. Well, at least I hope we don't. And this is the point in the space program where we don't have any means of saving our little Kerbals yet, because we can use the Separatons. Where are they? Separatons here, in combination with the decoupler, to make an improvised escape pod. But the problem is now that that would take 4 parts and quite a lot of weight. Well, not that much weight, but a lot of parts, which we can't really spare at the moment. So yeah, that's a problem still. But we can take another contract and try to try to get the other one done, so we can make room for some proper ones. That's not gonna be the one. Ah, it was not 45,000, it was 65,000, 56,000, which is not something we can do just yet. Perhaps with the boosters, perhaps. Let's see. This might be a good one to do now. It's a risky one to do now, but it might work. Because... this one is a little engine, I think, right? We have to reach 440 meters per second to do the Separatron. And at an altitude of, I forgot, 14,000, I think. So, if we reach our speed here, we can go up and away, I hope, with the little LV engine we have to do right here. So I'm gonna make an estimated guess, I guess, and accept that little contract, and let's make a whole new rocket. Command pod at first, still with Jeb, we still need Jeb. Let's buy this one. I have noticed the mass of this one is 225 for 180 fuel, while this one is exactly half for both of those things. So technically this is not better, but it saves us a lot of parts. It halves the fuel parts, which is most of the rocket, well, half of the rocket maybe. So that's some handy stuff. I'm gonna go, well, I'm gonna play it pretty safe on this rocket, I think, and try to well, let's see our contract. We need to get 18,000 meters. I don't think that's gonna happen with this little engine, but yeah, we can try. As long as we do one contract each time, it's a success in my mind, so to say. So where were we? Ah yeah, so we're making little rockets to get our 2 contracts, if possible. I like the inside of the VRB though. The outside is not that well done. The inside is okay. This is a bit eh. But I like the detail in the lower half. It's like they didn't expect people to look up, actually, looking at it. But the lower half is nice, especially the scaffolding here, because the the more advanced VRBs have scaffolding too, but it gets bigger and bigger and automated. But anyway, back to the contracts. Let's dump these two. Let's dump these two. Okay, right, we have to manage quite some speed before we can test that one, that little engine. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, put this right here, so that if necessary we can dump the lower stage and get the other contract done. So if this one isn't powerful enough to reach the speed we need for this 440, we can just dump it and use our, well, power booster, so to speak. Then I'm gonna I need to reach 6,000 meters. It's unlikely that those boosters will get us there, so I'm gonna go all out and hope for the best. And let's just put the single parachute here, because we're gonna dump the lower stages most likely anyway. Well, how much does this thing cost? Wow, those are actually quite expensive. I don't trust the little engine enough to try and save the stage. Besides, I think the upper one will survive anyway. So yeah, we don't have any side parachutes, but we do have winglets, which are very important since we don't have any proper SAS. So these will hopefully save our butts when flying up at the speed of light. Well, the speed of sound at least. Oh, that's not the right one. And everything seems balanced. I like to check it like this, because if you use symmetry, sometimes, well, you forget to, what, did the ground just spawn? Huh. Okay then. Well, just to make sure that the symmetry is alright. Sometimes I noticed with the new symmetry, I never had it in the old one, parts like to glitch inside of the rocket. If you do double symmetry, say that this one is okay and this one is just inside of the rocket for some reason unbeknownst to me. Let's get the staging right so we don't, well, kill everybody. And still our pilot. Yep, let's go with Jeb. How will we call this one? I'm not gonna go with the fireball, though it will be a fireball with all those boosters. Phoenix, because there will be a hell of a lot of fire. Phoenix 1, of course. In my oh shit, I didn't think of that one. So, well, either we take out this engine, but that doesn't sound like a good idea to me, or we go with just 3 engines boosters. Nope, still overweight. Well, this is a problem. Quite a problem, actually. Let's see. If we dump this lower... oh shit. If we dump this one and change it for this fuel tank, it gives us a very, very small margin, but it does get the weight right. So I'm gonna go with that and hope for the best. Oh wow, I like that. I didn't see that before, but if you highlight parts here, you can see which one. Oh, that's a blessing. If you got like 20 stages to go through